This one it feels kind of hard. It's Hello, my name is Christina and I am a homesteading, homeschooling mom of 3. Welcome to our channel. Home is where I am happiest, and I hope that whatever I do on this channel helps to encourage you or bring you joy, or just sometimes things that maybe would be relatable as somebody who's trying to raise some kids and just create a peaceful, loving atmosphere where everyone is healthy. That's what I'm hoping for right now. So I'm going to share with you today 10 things that I am not buying during the Pantry Challenge this year. The first thing that I am not buying is pasta. I do have a good bit of pasta stored up, and if I run out of pasta, then I'm just going to go ahead and work with some other alternatives. I've got potatoes, I've got rice. We'll just try to mix it up a little bit and make sure we're not like leaning too heavy on needing that pasta for something. Another thing that I'm not going to buy is bread or bagels. I do have some flour. I have a lot of wheat berries, so I'm just going to hopefully cycle through, finish up the bread and bagels that we have now, which isn't going to take long. I think we've got like a half a loaf left of sandwich bread and I think 1 bagel left. So I'm going to have to get into muffin mode, I think, for breakfast, because we have been relying heavily on those. It's been really convenient and easy, but it's time to go ahead and rely less on the things from the store, you know, all those extra ingredients. That's how I'm feeling about it right now anyway. Another thing that I am not going to be buying are sweets. We don't need any cakes, ice cream, pies, candy. We just came back from the holiday season. We've had plenty of that. There is still more than we can eat. So we're just going to go ahead and use up what we have. And for dessert, I'll just make things from scratch at home. I've got pie fillings stored up. I've got things to make brownies. I don't know. We'll make our own desserts. It'll be fine. All right, another thing I am not buying is canned fruits or vegetables. We already have plenty. If I see something that looks good, we're just gonna push pause and say, you know what, we've got other goals right now. We are gonna focus on finishing up the canned fruits and vegetables that we have. And that goes for frozen fruits and vegetables. I'm not really big on buying frozen fruits and vegetables anyway, so that's not going to be hard for me, but I do buy canned things on occasion. Another thing that I'm not going to buy is meat, and this one is a little bit controversial because right now in our freezers we've got beef and chicken that were raised here, and then we've got venison here. One thing that we don't have that we sometimes have is pork, and you know, our family likes to have sausage on occasion, bacon on occasion. Those are kind of treats right now whenever we don't have a freezer full of that kind of thing. I mean, does anybody really have a freezer full of bacon that doesn't buy it from the store? Probably not, you know, but we're not going to be buying any meat. This is actually kind of heartbreaking because I did not really tell my husband that we were doing this Pantry Challenge until recently, and he and his dad had been discussing how there is a pork shoulder on sale, and I think that he and his dad have both been pretty excited about it, wanting to get it. I think they said it was something like $1.49 a pound for this pork shoulder, and around here at our local grocery store, that's a really good price. And he says, you know, we're like kind of getting low on the beef and getting low on our chicken, and I'm like, I know, but we need to get at least one freezer emptied out, right? So anyway, I was like, well, just go ahead and get the pork shoulder if you want, you know? So we may end up with a pork shoulder, but just generally, that's not something that we're gonna be buying. Another thing that I'm not gonna buy is rice. We have a whole lot of white rice right now that we can use. We may have a bag or two of brown rice, but it doesn't store very well. I do have some quinoa I need to use up. My daughter likes to make sushi on occasion, and that calls for a particular kind of rice, but I will not be buying it right now at this time. Maybe we'll try the white rice and see if it works okay, but we will not be buying rice. The thing we're not going to buy is any kind of sugars or sweeteners. We do have a good bit of white sugar right now, I think, but we are probably running lower on brown sugar and maybe confectioner's sugar. And if I'm making desserts and muffins and things like that, maybe I'll want to use these things, but I'm just gonna make do with what I have and get creative. We do also have honey from where we have harvested honey from our bees, and we also have a little bit of maple syrup, but not very much. This one it feels kind of hard. I have several wheat berries. I know I don't have a whole lot of flour, and some recipes just do better with flour, white flour, bleached flour, all-purpose flour. For me, it's easier to work with. I am still pretty new to milling my own grains and making things with that. So, and really the kneading time required on the freshly milled grains is a lot. There are people who have like really great mixers that take a lot of the work out of it, but it's a very heavy time investment to use fresh milled grains if you don't have a machine that's going to help you with the kneading. I do have a KitchenAid, but it really requires like 20 minutes of kneading, sometimes more, to just get it to that not sticky stage. and it's very tempting to always just continue to add flour to it, and then you end up with a really dense loaf. So this one's a little bit hard. I'm a little bit nervous about saying I'm not going to buy any flour, but I'm not buying flour, and you hold me to it, okay? All right, another thing that's kind of easy for us that we're not going to be buying is soda or juice. We don't really drink a whole lot of soda and juice at the house. We do once a week go grocery shopping, and then at the gas station I let the kids all get a soda there. So once a week we have a soda, but it's not a problem. We do have grape juice in our cellar that we can have if we're craving something sweet and different, but it's not something that we typically go through. Actually, it's something that I have to remember to kind of make us have, because we don't drink juice very often, and it's kind of a, you know, added sugars and sweet treat, and I don't want to load the kids up on too much junk. Although if you see our desserts, you'll think that we have a lot of junk, but I think they would prefer a brownie over a cup of grape juice. All right, the last thing that I have on my list here for 10 things I'm not buying are herbs and spices. If I find a recipe that calls for something, I'll either just omit it or I'll try to find a substitute. In our herb garden out back, I do still have some herbs that seem to be hanging on. I've got rosemary and sage that seem okay, but we have had some really cold temperatures and they are covered in snow, and I don't know if those are gonna make it. We have a lot of dried herbs and spices in our pantry anyway, and unfortunately, I think it's probably good for me to try to purposefully use those. So there you have it, 10 things I am not buying for this pantry challenge. How's this list compare to yours? I need to know. Am I like forgetting something, or do you think something's ridiculous? If you watched my other video, you know that I am going to buy some fresh fruits and vegetables, because I want to make sure that we are having the appropriate amount of fruits and vegetables every day, and we don't have a whole lot of variety in our store, and I want to make sure that our family you know, has a balanced diet. We've got like kids with brains that are developing and bodies that are growing, and they need all the things. So I do not want to, just because I need to clean out my stuff and make room, I don't want to deprive them of something that's essential for their development. So that's my train of thought on that. I got derailed, but anyway, thanks for coming by. I hope that you find this enjoyable, and if you're doing the pantry challenge, please leave me a comment below and I'll check you out.